Now to you TN fans, over the last couple of weeks there's been a few releases that unfortunately I've missed, so I had to get a TN in that was really going to make it up for you guys, and this is the pair. Honestly, these are just insane. It's the Air Max Plus Sunset 2024. I've just got no words for this pair. It's so vibrant, it's just such a nice pair of TNs. So we're going to get straight into this one and check them out. Now, two things I've got to say before starting this video off. One, it is 30 degrees in this room. So if I look like I'm sweating and just progressively getting like more and more sweaty as the video goes on, I do apologize. There's nothing I can do about it. If I put a fan on, you guys can then hear the fan. It just doesn't sound right. And the second thing, I've had to film this one on my lunch break. Some of you guys know already, I work a 9-5. I'm a very small YouTuber. So the only time I get to film my weekly reviews, like the outdoor clips, is on my lunch break. So in 40 minutes I've sort of put that together. If it's a little bit rushed, I do apologize. Obviously, if you guys watch all the way through my video and you subscribe and you like the video, that really supports me. Maybe one day I won't have to work full time. Who knows? But yeah, that could be way later down the line. I just want to say a massive thank you as well for you guys that do actually support my content. I do really appreciate it. But we're going to get straight into sizing on this one. Now I thought, because I'm reviewing shoes and this is a very big release, I went my true to size. Now, some of you watched my TN videos previously and you know I never go true to size with TNs. I always go a half size up. I do find it just narrows down the toe area. Like, it does just narrow just slightly, where it is just a really snug fit going true to size. I do have wider feet, and I know obviously everyone's foot size and shape is different. So it's sort of really difficult to say to you guys, you should go a half size up. For me personally, who has wider feet, I do go a half size up in my TNs. It's the only silhouette that I go a half size up in. So everything else, Air Maxes and Dunks and Jordans, and I go true to size. This is the only pair that I go a half size up. The best way that you know you'll get your perfect size for you is going to a shop or trying on a few pairs. Once you've tried on a mesh base TN, they all fit the same. Obviously there's different materials and stuff, but the mesh base TNs, they all do fit the same. So once you get your size, you don't have to sort of worry about it. I know there's sort of 50-50 split in the community. Some say go half size up, others say go true to size. The ones that say go true to size is usually because they like that sort of aesthetic look, where they don't like that little bit of extra space. I buy my shoes for comfort. I want something that I can wear all day and not feel as if, you know, my feet are absolutely boiling. It's really uncomfortable. I want something that fits me pretty much perfectly, that I can wear for any situation. And then moving on to comfort, it's just such a comfortable shoe. The breathable mesh, that little bit extra half size up for me personally, just really helps. It's just such a breathable, comfortable shoe. Now these are perfect for the summer. It is a summer colorway. You've got that breathable mesh, so these are obviously going to keep your feet cool. It's a perfect shoe for the summer. However, because you've obviously got that chunky PU midsole, I mean, you can wear a TN in the winter. Some of the darker colorways are perfect for the winter. It's an all year round shoe, and I really do like this pair. You'll be surprised how many outfits these actually go with. I've tried these with stone cargos, I've tried these with carpenter pants, 2 pairs of black cargos, I've tried these with shorts. These go with pretty much anything. I'm gonna just basically show you a few different pairs of trousers just so you can see what I'm talking about, and you can see this colorway, surprisingly, considering how vibrant it is, actually goes with so many different outfits. I was looking at these thinking, you know, I've seen people wearing like baggy cargos and they look, you know, they're kind of clean. I really do like this colorway. And then I've seen other people just sort of switching it up with like blue jeans and like blue baggy trousers and stuff, and they just look insane. Like I don't own any blue jeans. It's not really my sort of look. I like you know, like darker colors. Obviously I've got a few lighter colors like neutral tones and stuff like that, but these go with pretty much everything. I mean, they're banging with shorts as well. There's just so much that these actually go with. I was really surprised. You'd think because it's such a vibrant colorway that you'd be kind of like limited of what you can actually wear these with. But yeah, man, like there's so much positive to talk about this shoe. Something I will say as well. Now these laces you can buy on eBay. You can get them for £10 or €10, whatever, that $12, something that works out like that. But yeah, you can get these on eBay. And imagine those yellow tips with this shoe, with this Sunset 2024, the yellow tips with the Sunset. I've just moved this in. But imagine those and those, like the yellow sort of comes up at the top. Imagine those yellow tips, man. That would just look so clean. So let's get into the unboxing. It's just a standard red Nike box, which is a little bit disappointing, but then buried underneath that wrapper, no disappointment there. These just look so fire. It's the Sunset 2024s. Now we'll start with the outer sole. I mean, the outer sole is just clean. It just follows the rest of the colorway. You've got that signature TN logo in the middle. I'm happy they went with the sort of signature traditional TN logo. I know sometimes they do switch it up and sort of match the theme. But yeah, I just think the signature just looks so much better in my opinion. That's just my opinion at the end of the day. You might think otherwise. It's just a classic. It is just a classic. Something I will say as well, obviously you've got the 3 main colors being red, black and orange. Something I will say, as I mentioned, is the 5 holes here. Now in the larger sizes, size 10 and above, you do get these 5 holes. It's just sort of the air unit. Obviously on the smaller sizes, below 10 and below, you only get 4. So if you're wondering, Jordan, how come you've got 5? I've only got 4. That is the reason. I've had actually 3 people message me now basically saying, are mine fake? Or are theirs fake? Their friend sold them the pair of shoes and they've only got 4. Should they be concerned? But that is the reason. The bigger shoe, the bigger obviously the air unit's going to be. You can see it pretty much in there. It just means obviously you've got 5. But yeah, that is just the difference. It's just a larger pair of shoes. So I'm a 10.5 UK. So I'm above that 10. So obviously anything above a 10 you get 5, anything below you get 4. So it doesn't mean to say that your shoes are fake, it's just a case of just the smaller sizes. You don't need 5 air units because the shoe is obviously smaller. But yeah, you've also got this sort of whale tail. Now it does gradient, it's not quite as dominant as the other TNs. It's sort of very similar to the Malashites, to the Aquarius Blues. As you can see there, it's sort of like it does gradient there slightly from the orange to the black, but it isn't as sort of a dominant gradient as obviously some other pairs, but it is really clean. I'm loving the whale tail on this one. And something else that I do really like, we've got the midsole. Now the midsole is white, sticking to those obviously the OG colors. They're very bright. I do like the white midsole on this. It does make it just a little bit brighter. Obviously I've seen some people color this in black. Yeah, it looks alright. I just think the white, it's just clean, so crisp, so nice for summer. And you can already see right there the air units. The air units, I mean, just look at them. Matching the shoe, you've got these bright fluorescent orange air units. I mean, they're just so nice. Really in your face. You've also got them down this side of the shoe. I mean, the air units on this one are clean. Let me just get a little bit of a close-up. I mean, even like that. Like, even just holding it away from the camera, you can see those air units. So vibrant. Really nice orange as well. Like, it is a really nice orange. I'll show you the air units on this side. So obviously on the inner of the shoe, it stays actually true to its, you know, most TNs obviously have this sort of orange and red air unit. That actually goes really well, because obviously the theme is sunset, or tiger if you want to call it that. It actually does go really well. So the traditional air units, obviously this color is the same on most TNs. So on the Aquarius Blues and other TNs, it does obviously have this red and orange, but because that colorway is blue or green for the Malashites and bits like that, it kind of doesn't really go. But on this pair, the air units on both sides of the shoe just look so clean. Like, it's just looking fire. Honestly, that little bit of red at the bottom, I'll do a little zoom in just so you can see what I mean. Honestly, everything about the midsole and outersole, absolutely fire. Now moving on from the midsole, you obviously do have this sort of wavy material. It's almost like a matte finishing. It's the same on most TNs. So that is like a wavy line that works its way around to the back of the shoe. Whilst we're at this level, obviously I work my way up the shoe when I do TNs. I'll just say about the one flaw that I think is a flaw. It's not the biggest flaw. It's not necessarily a con or a negative, but it is something that I've got to point out. I've got to be honest in my videos, is the toe cap. Obviously this is transparent, looks great. Don't get me wrong, it looks great. But because it's transparent, you can actually see the glue marks are sort of basically making the threading really, really visible. But the glue marks has sort of seeped into that threading or that stitching. And it does just kind of look a little bit, yeah, I mean, it just stands out loads. I know the camera is obviously reflecting this a little bit. I think maybe on this side of the shoe, I might just show it a little bit more. You see what I mean? It doesn't ruin it from this angle. Obviously you're fine. When you've got these on your foot, no one's going to be able to tell. But it's something that I've got to point out in the video. You see what I mean there? Obviously on other TNs where this is blacked out, you can't see that. I don't know what I would suggest for Nike to you know, obviously sort this out. But you see what I mean? Obviously the glue, because it's transparent, it is very visible on the toe cap. It's not it doesn't ruin the shoe at all. You know, I'd still pick these up 100%. But look, if you're going to spend £185 on this pair of shoes, I've got to be that guy that covers everything. I can't just be biased and say I love everything about it. This is the only thing I'd change. I still do really like this being transparent though. So like, how would you change that and not have those glue marks? I'm hoping the camera is just picking that up. Yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, that is obviously the transparent toe cap or toe guard. It is still clean. It doesn't ruin it at all, as I've mentioned. So please don't let that put you off. Please a note as well. I can only speak on this pair of shoes. I haven't picked up every single pair of Sunsets. You might say, look, Jordan, mine's fine. I don't have that. You know, that is completely possible. So I can't vouch for every single pair. I can only vouch for the pair that I have in hand, and that is very noticeable there. Something I will say as well, obviously the bird's eye reviews, I'm going to have to get used to him. It's something that I'm going to have to get used to. So over the next, I mean, I've made now what, 100 to 100 and something videos if we include the shorts. So the shorts as well as the actual videos themselves, I've made like 100 videos now. So I've always done it a certain way. When you switch something up, you're going to have to get used to it. I'm going to have to actually suss out how to get used to it, how to do it properly. I might have to get a new lens. But yeah, so that is obviously the sort of the bottom of the shoe. And moving on, I mean, we'll start off with that swoosh. The swoosh in red, it is sort of it's like a reddy orange. It is a very nice colour though, very nice swoosh. Obviously it's got that black outer lining, which actually matches the exoskeleton. The exoskeleton, this one in like a glossy black. Some of these obviously have the gradient, this one doesn't. So this exoskeleton is just solid black, but it is a glossy black. I know some of them is like that matte black finish. Some of you guys don't like the glossy, some of you just like the matte. But yeah, this is a glossy one, as you can see there, the camera reflecting. When you have these on, let's say this was just down here, you can't really see the gloss, but it is something to point out. As I said, I've got to cover absolutely everything. And I think what we'll do now is we'll move on to that mesh base. I mean, the mesh base, the star of the show, so vibrant. Just look at that gradient. Let me just leave these here. I mean, look at that gradient. Do a bit of a close-up of that mesh base for you. So it's a very breathable mesh base. Obviously these are perfect for the summer, but just look how vibrant this pair looks. I mean, the orange going into the yellow. Obviously this one is called Sunset, I completely get that, but yeah, such a nice pair. It's a summer banger. Now it is a summer banger. It is, in my opinion, probably released this year, is a perfect TN for the summer. It just is. There's a bit of a close-up of that sort of chain mesh, very breathable material. Move on to the laces. Now the laces in black, you can actually pick up additional laces. I've said that earlier in the video. So obviously if you have skipped to this point, if you skip back, obviously I've included where you can get additional laces that will look way better with these, because obviously these ones are just black laces. You can get different colors there on eBay. So yeah, you've got the Cajun style lacing system. Traditional TN laces there. At the top of the tongue, you have got the Hex logo. Now the Hex logo in red, it's like that same reddy orange that matches the swoosh. I'm really liking this one. Which leads us on to the inner of the shoe. Now that inner sole is in orange with the traditional TN logo stamped in the middle. I mean, the inner sole is crazy on this pair. I wish I could take it out, but it's completely glued in. I don't want to ruin this pair just for the sake of the video. But as you can see there, bright orange inner sole, it's just fire. These are just clean. It's such a vibrant pair. I know some of you just like the darker pairs of TNs, but I'd recommend giving this pair a go because these do go over a lot of different outfits as well. Now the back of the shoe, absolutely fire. Like, it's just so clean. It's just such a nice pair. I've said it already, but I'm just so glad Nike kept to that traditional OG TN signature logo. Sometimes, as I mentioned, they do switch it up, trying to match the theme of the shoe. It looks okay on some, but this one here, it didn't need anything messing about. Very, very few changes that actually need to be made from the original. Fire. Honestly, fire. Now let's get to the back of the shoe's air units, because you can already see those really, really vibrant, shining through. I love those air units. Bright orange, and you also get a glimpse of the gradient effect. Not too much of a gradient at the back of the shoe, but you can see just a little bit. It's sort of a gradient from a darker orange here, and then as it gets up it goes to a lighter orange, but it's very, very light for a gradient. The dominant side of the gradient here, as you can see, sort of down the middle and the front of the shoe, donning those two colours where the orange changes into the yellow. I mean, what's not to love about this pair? I am really interested to hear your thoughts as well. If you're not liking this one, maybe you pick this one up. Maybe you've got the OGs. But for me, for a summer shoe, this is as good as it gets. For a summer TN, let's say. For a summer TN, I mean, this one is just as good as it gets. I mean, it's just absolutely fire. As always, interested to hear your thoughts though, so let me know. Man, it's just so hot in the UK. I know I've already said this a few times, but I'm just so hot. So sweaty. It's 27 degrees. I know some of you will say, look, that's nothing compared to where you live. But yeah, 27 degrees in the UK, it's just absolutely roasting. I can't open the window because obviously then you guys can hear the noise from outside the window. So I'm going to look really hot, really sweaty in this one. But I'm kind of not really fussed. I think the videos are just flowing really nicely. I'm talking a lot more comfortably in front of the camera. Things seem to be going all right. I'm really enjoying making the videos again. I know obviously I took a break because obviously I had to move into the new place. But yeah, I'm just buzzing to be back, buzzing to be sat in front of the camera for new releases that are coming out. This pair, it just feels really good to put more emotion into it, not really care too much about, I think before I was worried too much about what I said and what people would think about my opinion. But I think now we've built like a very small community and I really, really enjoy your guys' feedback, how we can obviously grow this channel and basically make the videos better. So yeah. I want to hear your thoughts on these. I want to hear why you think these are still sitting. In the UK anyway. I know some countries are sold out. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Maybe you've got the OGs. Let me know. But I'm also really excited for the next video. I know I always say that. But if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe because you'll not want to miss the future content. I'm going to try and make it as best as I possibly can do. I'll catch you in the next one. Until next time, cheers.